So, I've realized something recently. After over 200 hours across multiple extraction shooters, I feel like I've come to an interesting conclusion about these games. Extraction shooters are inherently miserable to play. And I'm serious. They're stressful, confusing, and consume more time than your wife does talking about the newest tea going on at her job.
Well, I mean, I've never been there. I don't like magic, and I really don't like roller coasters. They just seem really boring. I know they're supposed to be scary, which isn't boring, but it's like, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting and going up and down when you could be playing soccer or categories or making a cake.
You can spend 15 to 20 minutes looting random junk on the map just to get sent back to the main menu by some guy who's been hiding in a bush since the Bush administration.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
And somehow, thousands of people can't stop playing these damn games. Hell, I can't stop playing them either. And trust me, I've tried. Think about the last time that a video game made you feel genuinely afraid. Not startled, not jump scared by some dumb thing jumping out of a closet. Afraid, heart rate up, hands a little shaky, that specific reluctance to move forward. For me, that happens on a totally normal Tuesday in my house playing video games like a well-adjusted grown adult. My wife might argue otherwise, but my mental stability is not the topic of today's video.
Are you for real? I'm for real.
I have hundreds of hours playing games like these. Arena Breakout Infinite, Arc Raiders, Marathon, 3 different games, 3 different approaches to the same idea. And all 3 of them have, at various points, made me not want to keep playing. Not because they were boring, but because the stakes felt real. These games are punishing, unforgiving, and they will take everything that you spent the last 3 hours building and delete it in 45 seconds. You just lose everything and get kicked to the menus to do it all over again. For a long time, I couldn't understand why people liked these games. Who would subject themselves to this willingly? Then I realized, the misery we feel playing these games, it isn't the problem, it's the reason why we play. Now, for anyone who got here through the algorithm and has no idea what we're talking about, welcome to the channel. My name is Eric and I love that you decided to stop by. That tastes like shit. Extraction shooters are built around an idea that's simple on paper. You bring your gear in, you complete an objective, you get out. The twist, the thing that separates this genre from all the other shooters on the market, everything that you bring in, you can permanently lose. Your weapons, your shields, your ammo, hours of work across multiple sessions gone in a single death. Imagine if Call of Duty permanently deleted your entire loadout every time you died. No kill cam, no respawn, no second chances. Just gone forever. When you load into a raid, you're not gambling some currency you farmed in a couple of hours grinding PvP matches. You're gambling your real time spent. Last Thursday's session, the one where you finally got the rare item that you've always wanted, the item you've been saving since then because it felt too valuable to risk, you finally decided to load in with it, and at the end of the raid, maybe you make it out with more than you came in, or maybe you don't. And extraction shooters aren't a new thing. Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown have been leading the charge in this genre for the better part of a decade. Arc Raiders exploded onto the scene last year. And now, even the legendary Bungie Studios, the creators of Halo and Destiny, decided to throw their hat in the ring.
He came!
Howdy,
Gamers.
my name's
Bungie.
and I'm here to throw my hat in the ring to be your next
Extraction shooter.
A decision, might I add, that they are experiencing in a way that perfectly summarizes extraction shooters. You put everything in, and there is no guarantee that you're going to be able to make it out. But whether these games have succeeded or not, they all share one philosophy. Your comfort is not their concern. Here's what never makes it into the complaint threads on Reddit. When these games go right, when you survive everything that the game throws at you, there is nothing in gaming that feels like it. I've finished long RPGs like Red Dead Redemption. I've climbed the ranks of games like Halo. None of it lands like a thrilling extraction match. And look, for somebody like me who only gets a few hours a night if they're lucky to play games, when something hits like that, you remember it. Do you remember the last time that you worked on something? And I mean actually worked on it. Not just followed instructions step by step, but put yourself out there without knowing what the end result would be? And after all that effort, what was the feeling that you got when it finally worked? That's extraction shooters in a nutshell. The successful extraction isn't a moment in isolation. It's the punctuation at the end of a sentence that started the second that you clicked the matchmaking button. Every decision you made, every enemy you avoided, every call under pressure, it all leads up to the same moment. You didn't just win a game. You survived something that was actively trying to ruin your day. That's a feeling modern AAA shooters do not deliver very often. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make extraction shooters sound like you're going on a spiritual retreat with Aaron Rodgers, because that would be a lie. Let me paint you a picture of what most sessions actually look like. It's 11 p.m. Your kids are asleep. Your wife is in the bedroom watching some sketchy crime drama on Netflix. This is your window. 2, maybe 3 hours at best. You spend a half an hour in the menus building your kid out. You enter the raid. You start looting. A few minutes pass. Then, footsteps. You don't know if they've heard you. You don't know if they've seen you. So you decide to crouch behind cover and wait. Your brain starts running calculations it was never designed to do. You decide you've waited long enough. You peek out from cover and... just like that, your gear is gone. A third of your gaming time for the night? Evaporated, and you have nothing to show for it. These developers have built a machine that makes you feel like shit while you're playing, and that machine just keeps growing. Arc Raiders hit nearly 500,000 concurrent players at its peak last year. The entire genre combined wasn't doing numbers like those before. These aren't gamers who stumbled in by accident. They read the reviews, they watched the clips, they knew exactly what they were signing up for, and they signed up anyway. The question is, why? I've been playing video games for almost my entire life. My parents thought it was a phase, my wife told me I'd outgrow it, and instead I made a YouTube channel about it. Seriously? Nothing? Alright, well.
These are the jokes, kid.
I know exactly what it feels like when games reward you just simply for breathing. You kill someone, screen flashes with XP. You complete an objective, medal pops up. A teammate spawns on you, challenge completed. And look, those games are fun. This isn't some kind of hit piece on Call of Duty or Battlefield. I have thousands of hours in franchises like them, and I don't regret a single moment. But when everything gives you a reward, nothing is a reward.
Now real quick, if y'all are enjoying today's video, make sure you lasso that there like button for your boy. It helps the video reach more failers like yourself. And honestly, I'd appreciate the hell out of you for doing so.
It's like eating fast food for every meal. Does it hit the spot every time? Sure. 2 hours later though, you're somehow still hungry and you can't remember a single bite. Extraction shooters pull the safety net away entirely. These games are not going to reward you for participating. It's not going to meet you halfway. It's not going to tell you that you did a great job when you didn't. If you want to feel something, you have to earn it. And I think that's exactly what people are coming to this genre for. Whether they've put it in words or not, we've spent years playing games that are designed to make our lives as comfortable as possible. And somewhere in all that, we forgot what it felt like when gaming meant something. And that's when I started realizing that maybe this is about more than just games. We have comfortable homes to live in, have same-day delivery. Every app on our cell phone exists to remove friction. We now have to deliberately go out and seek challenges just to be able to have them in our everyday lives. And meanwhile, an entire generation of gamers are voluntarily paying money to play games that specifically are designed to deny any form of comfort. That's not a coincidence. That's a signal. There's a saying that's been around long enough that nobody credits it anymore. The journey is the reward. Think about Dark Souls. Legendary for being brutal. No quest markers, no hand-holding, bosses that'll kill you 30 times before you even understand their attack patterns. And guess what? It's also one of the most talked about, most beloved, most emotionally resonant games ever made. People don't talk about their Call of Duty match where they dropped 31 kills and 3 deaths. They talk about experiences that moved them, experiences that they couldn't find anywhere else in gaming. Because here's the truth, nobody frames a participation trophy.
I don't want this.
The game that hands you everything is the game that you feel nothing when you log out. And the game that made you earn every inch, that's the one that stays with you. Look, I've got kids, one of which is only 2 right now. The hardest parts of being their dad aren't the parts that I would trade. The times I didn't know what I was doing, the moments that pushed me further than I thought I could go, those aren't the bad years. Those are the years that matter the most. The difficulty isn't the price that you pay for the experience, it is the experience. And here's the part of extraction shooters that get the most complaints. The anxiety before you even start the match.
I'm so fucking scared right now!
You've got your kit assembled, you're at the matchmaking screen, and there's this moment where you just don't want to click run. Not because you're bored, but because you know what's on the line. And trust me, I've sat in these screens longer than I've sat in some doctor's office rooms. And I have 2 kids. That should tell you something. Here's the thing about anxiety. We've been trained our whole lives to treat it like a malfunction, something to manage, medicate, or avoid entirely. But what if anxiety is just the proof to ourselves that what we're experiencing in the moment matters to us? We pay to go to horror movies. We drive to the theater, buy the overpriced popcorn, sit in the dark with strangers, and willingly let ourselves be afraid. We call it entertainment. We call it a great Friday night. Why does that work? I'll tell you why. Fear is your brain going, pay attention, dipshit, this matters. That locked in focus, the way that time slows down when stakes are real, that's not a malfunction. That's your most present, most alert state. The pre-raid anxiety isn't a design flaw, it's the system confirming this one counts. Think about a moment in your life whenever you had no anxiety at all. I bet you can't think of too many, can you? Now think about the moments that made your stomach drop, the ones where you had no idea how things were going to turn out. The job interview that you prepared for all week, the conversation with your ex that you've been putting off for months, the life-altering decision that could have gone either way. I bet you can describe every single detail in those moments, down to the exact day and time that they occurred. Not because they felt good, but because they mattered. Now look, I know I'm just a guy in a cowboy hat drinking beer talking about video games on YouTube, so stay with me on this one. Think about the best sports game that you ever watched at any level. Did it end 42-3 in the third quarter? Or did it go into overtime, where you physically were incapable of sitting down with your hands over your head? Tension only exists when the outcome isn't decided, and meaning only exists in those same conditions. In the final sprint of an extraction shooter, the last stretch to the exit, you don't know what's between you and it, your kid is on the line, the timer is running out. That moment lives in the same category as every moment in your life where the outcome wasn't guaranteed. And those are the moments that are genuinely, permanently yours. You cannot have a meaningful relationship without the possibility of losing it. You cannot have meaningful achievement in your life without the possibility of failure.
And you can't call something a frontier if all the danger's been removed. At that point, it's not a frontier no more. It's just a suburb, partner.
Here's what I think extraction shooters are really selling to us that most games are not. What you're paying for isn't entertainment in the traditional sense. It's the feeling of stakes. After years of games designed to remove all friction, a generation of players sat down and said, I want to feel something again. I want to build something and risk it. I want a decision that actually matters. And the part that nobody says out loud, that's not just about video games. I'm 30 years old. I've got a career, I've got a family, I've got responsibilities. My life, likely like your own, is stressful. And I'm spending most of my free time in one of the most punishing shooter genres ever created. That used to confuse me. Now, I think I understand it. You see, the thing is, like you, I was told my whole life what a good life looked like. I needed to find a steady job, something comfortable, remove any variables that I couldn't control. If something makes me anxious, I need to fix it. If something was too difficult, I need to find a path around it. Whether I felt fulfilled or not, comfort was the goal. But that's the thing. The version of ourselves that we're the most proud of wasn't built in our comfort zone. It was built in the moments outside of that zone. We tried something that we didn't know the outcome of. You could say we loaded in with no guarantee of making it out. The stakes were real, and we went in anyway. Extraction shooters are a niche genre. It's true. They're hard to learn. They don't spam your brain with dopamine every few seconds. The difficulty is crushing. The anxiety is real. The tension will get your heart rate up in ways that your doctor probably wouldn't be comfortable with. Extraction shooters are miserable to play. But that's the point. Now, if you made it to the end of this video without tabbing out, I'm genuinely impressed. You have a better attention span than about 99% of people on this platform. So do me a favor, comment below, I made it, so that way I know you're part of that 1%.
And if y'all would be so kind as to go ahead and hit that there like button and subscribe for your boy, help me grow the channel a little bit, I'll be much obliged. Think of it like a successful extraction, except instead of getting loot, you just get more videos like these, which is either a reward or a punishment, depending if you like cowboys that talk too much about video games while drinking beer.
All jokes aside, if you guys would like to see my thoughts on Bungie's new extraction shooter marathon, click on one of the videos that's over here. My name is Eric, and I like to make videos about things I find interesting or cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.